The next 26 minutes of world-class international destination running is sponsored by Econet. Maybe it's just the fresh African air. Or maybe it's the smoke from the mighty Victoria Falls. But everyone participating in the Econet Victoria Falls Marathon is feeling alive, joyous, or maybe even a little crazy.
Oh, it's tough, bro. Really tough. Yeah. But I'm going. I'll keep going. I'm going. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna catch this girl.
There is something very different about this marathon out here in the bush. In Victoria Falls, you are surrounded by the most unusual sights. The occasional elephant walking through town. A friendly warthog taking a shortcut through the park. Smoke that thunders? Or the strange sight of fellow beings wearing brightly colored raincoats on a beautiful sunny day. On this day, there's a sense of freedom, happiness, and sheer delight as hundreds of athletes enjoy one of the most amazing marathons in the world. There are 7 natural wonders of the world. Victoria Falls, discovered in 1855 by pioneer David Livingstone, is one of nature's most incredible sights. And when you stand only meters from the roaring torrent of water, it is easy to understand why. Cecil John Rhodes had the bridge built between Zambia and Zimbabwe in 1905, with the idea of having the train drenched by the falls as it crossed over the bridge. Running over this bridge into Zambia is an amazing way to start a marathon.
Running over the bridge and looking at the falls was just mind-boggling, actually. I mean, there was mist and spray, and I felt incredible. I felt really strong, and the whole time I was thinking what a privilege it is to be able to run this race and how beautiful it is. You know, the area we've been going through, I was chatting to people, I was absolutely loving it. I was really in my element.
The independence of Zimbabwe in 1980 brought about a surge of adventure tourism in Vic Falls. Since then, it's been full steam ahead.
Through the years, it's just developed and developed and developed to where we are now. Obviously, we've been through all that hyperinflationary period where we were at 89 million% inflation per month. And since the dollarization of the economy, things have stabilized. We've got a very small inflation rate. It's in the region of 4 to 4.5%, which means that our prices are stable and we can now provide services at acceptable levels to the international people at acceptable prices.
And deliver they do. The activities at Victoria Falls are staggeringly diverse and range from full off to full on.
Zimbabwe, probably the most amazing tourist destination in Africa. You've got just about everything all in one country. You've got the falls, you've got the Zambezi River, you've got Wangi National Park, Mana pools, huge variety of different places you can visit, and a variety of activities as well. A lot of countries basically base their tourism on game viewing by vehicle. This country you can game view on foot, canoeing, rafting, cruise boats, etc. So you can do a lot of things. It's a very good sort of adventure tourism destination.
The The route for the marathon has been carefully chosen, so the runners get the full flavour of the Vic Falls area.
Route-wise, we start early in the morning and run across the bridge to Zambia. We turn just before the customs post and come back across the bridge with the fantastic views of the falls behind you. Then you turn along Zambezi Drive. First water point is Tingamira. Continue along Zambezi Drive, quite a bit of game on that section. Then there's the big tree, which is Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, that's their water point. Then we turn onto the main road out to the parks, and the Kingdom Hotel monitors that one. Past Botswana Tourism. And then Econet, our main sponsor, they've got a double water point at the gate of the park. And we do a big loop into the park, into the national park there, once again on the banks of the Zambezi. And then basically up past the Zimplatz water point, down through town, through the suburbs, to the Sprayview Hotel area, which is Delta Beverages. And then we turn out at Dog's Leg is basically manned by Mars, which is the air rescue service here, and Vic Falls Anti-Poaching Unit, who also are beneficiaries of some of the money we raised from this event. And we finish at the school, which is great fun.
The enthusiastic runners that take to the streets and bush of Victoria Falls come from around the globe.
France, Paris.
Scotland.
From Rustenburg.
I'm from Wales. I live in Botswana.
From Cape Town.
England.
From Cape Town.
I'm from Vic Falls, England. Hey, KwaZulu-Natal, Lady Smith. South Africa, Jovic.
Rory.
Zambia.
From Cape Town, Belleville.
I'm from Alaska. I'm from Ireland.
From Germany.
We're from Vic Falls.
America, but we live in Tanzania. I'm from the US. Botswana!
It all starts with registration at the Kingdom Hotel, where the runners can find out all about the route, its joys and perils. There is always a lot to talk about, what can be seen and what to watch out for during this exciting run in the bush.
I think I did see lion tracks on the run last year as we entered the park near the campsites.
A lion. I have to make sure that I have enough room to decide what to do next. Whether to run or dash for safety.
Damien said he would tie a piece of meat to my back. It might be make me run a bit faster.
It's not gonna catch me, I'm very fast.
Last year, I think I saw a couple of early balls, so that's what makes it interesting.
I think he's just gonna scream and run.
And I'll run.
Many athletes will run for charity or for a cause close to their hearts. One such person is Bev Sebastian, whose son was born with microphthalmia, a rare condition where infants are born with one eye. The prosthetic eye changed their world.
That moment when he finally had both eyes, when the prosthetic was fitted, was a moment we will never forget. It was wonderful because people started treating him differently and us differently as a result.
This inspired her to do something to help other children with the same condition.
During one of my runs, I decided that, well, maybe we can raise a bit of money for those children in South Africa. And two of my friends, Damien and Celia, joined me on that, and we started raising money for it, and that's what's brought me here today.
Having the Victoria Falls Marathon here in Zimbabwe means a lot for our tourism industry. This is part of sports tourism, which is a form of tourism that we are promoting. We are really impressed by the way this marathon has been growing. We intend to work together with the organizers and the main sponsors to see that we grow the numbers.
On the eve of the race, some of the runners enjoyed sundowners and took in the tranquil sounds of nature over the quiet plains of Zimbabwe. Less than 12 hours later, the runners were brought back to reality by a noise of a different kind.
Right, folks, I'd like to welcome you to the 2013 Econet Marathon. Hope you guys have a great run out there today. Enjoy the scenery and hopefully you don't bump into too many wildlife species.
Yeah, we're all set for another marathon. Great event. We're very excited. We can't wait. Hopefully we're going to see some of our wildlife en route. Already there's been a report of some elephants on the park. So looking forward to it. Here we go.
There are always a few keen runners who like to set a fast pace from the beginning. And Viclas Mudenda is no exception as he bolts away towards the border crossing. The stunning view as you cross over Victoria Falls Bridge into Zambia doesn't slow these front runners down. As they make their way back into town, Zimbabwean Kudakwashi Kanduna sets a great pace and surges ahead into the hills surrounding Victoria Falls. Last year's winner, Nkosiyazi Sibanda, also of Zimbabwe, and a small pack of runners just off the pace are keeping a close eye on Kanduna. As they ran past the big tree for the first time, Sibanda was chasing hard, with a pack of runners doing their best to stay with the front two. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful temperatures, and a beautiful place to run a marathon. Nkosiyazi Sibanda is keeping the pack at bay and keeping Kanduna well in his sights. The smoke from Victoria Falls seems miles away as the runners make their way past the Botswana Tourism Water Point at the 10-kilometer mark. The race is just beginning and the open road towards the national park inspires a fast pace. The pack chase hard. The Zambezi National Park is just 6 kilometers from the town of Victoria Falls and home to an abundance of Africa's wildlife species. The pack of 7 runners are hunting down the first and second place runners as they run past some fresh elephant activity. This is a tough race, with hills that can really surprise you just as you're settling into a good pace. The hill just after the Zimplatz water point took its toll on Kudakwashi Kanduna, and Nkosiyazi Sibanda surged forward. The pack, now down to 5 runners, struggled to keep up with Nkosiyazi Sibanda's blistering pace, as was Kanduna, who had now fallen back from the leader. Nkosiyazi Sibanda was running a fantastic race, and as they came around for the second loop, the pack had dwindled to 3 and was almost a kilometer behind the leader. They now had their sights firmly set on second place runner Kudakwashi Kanduna. Kanduna was now under threat, and the pack, now down to 2, surged forward and overtook him on the same hill where he lost the lead on the first loop. The race was on to catch last year's winner, Nkosiyazi Sibanda. At this stage, with 5 kilometers to go, Sibanda saw the next runners were not a threat anymore and surged forward towards the finish line, aiming to break his own winning time of 2 hours 23.25, which he set in 2012. Sibanda had run a very strategic race and won a convincing victory in a time of 2:19.11, beating his own record by over 4 minutes.
Nkosiyazi Sibanda, the winner of the 2013 Vic Falls Econet Marathon, Zimbabwe!
Second place, Leonard Koki, was almost 5 minutes behind. Colin Parura in third and Lionel Muchena in fourth came trotting into the finish after an exhausting race. The first 10 runners home in the Econet Victoria Falls full marathon were all Zimbabwean.